Prior to 8 weeks ago, how you were coping with health anxiety, what your life was like, and how you sort of dealt with it.
8 week course has been the best thing I could have done. 8 weeks ago, I was in a terrible place, crying, not eating, not sleeping, more or less agoraphobic, going out when I had to, even having panics about doing the school run, vertigo, dizziness. The list is endless. And really, after about 2 weeks of being on your course, something sort of clicked in my brain, and I noticed that I was feeling better, and I've just carried on and on and on, and now I'm back to going out. I'm present. I'm being a better parent, I think. I've life's just so different, so different. You've got to put the work in. Obviously, nothing comes for nothing, and the only person that can help you is you. The online course is brilliant. I mean, like I keep saying, after 2 weeks, that's when I really accepted it was anxiety, and that's what I believe now, that until you accept that your symptoms are anxiety, which I hadn't. I was telling myself they were, but I didn't really believe it.
Yeah.
So consequently, once you've got that acceptance, then that's when you start to move on.
Yeah.
And it's the tools that you teach that help you or make you accept that it's anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is straightforward. There's no rocket science in what I teach, but the buck does stop with you, and you have to be at that point where you're like, right, I cannot carry on any longer. I want to make change. I can't live like this. I can't spend the rest of my life living this way, especially when it's affecting your family life, the relationship with your children, your husband. It's really tough. So the buck stops with you, and all hats off to you for putting in that hard work. You've really got to want to get it, and you want to achieve it and go for it, and you certainly have grabbed it by the horns. So yeah, you've done amazingly well.
I think I assumed that I was just going to get up one morning and feel better. I thought it was just going to go away, and as time went on, it got worse and worse and worse, and then in the end I did get up one morning and go, I can't do this anymore. Enough is enough. I'm throwing my life away.
It's a hard thing, isn't it? Because no one wants to be spending money on therapy, on treatment, on something that they feel they can sort out themselves. But once you get to a certain point where it is consuming you every day, and you get to that point where enough is enough, you're like, I cannot go on any further. I always feel like I'm the last resort for people. They've tried acupuncture, hypnotherapy, CBT, antidepressants by the time they find me. So and I'm okay with that. But it is almost like, I have to finally sort this out. So it's understanding, I teach understanding why we feel the way we do, why this happens, understanding health anxiety, why our bodies respond in the way that it does. And that is the real root cause. When you can understand fear and control and how our minds work, and the power of our minds, that's one of the first things we learn together is how powerful our minds are. We can create symptoms based on what we think.
It's learning how powerful, or accepting, believing how powerful your brain is, or your mind, and that sort of, once you accept that, which it is hard work. I'm not going to tell anyone it's easy, but it's enjoyable hard work because you get results from it.
Yeah.
And as for the money, I mean, that was one of the reasons I didn't do it in the first place. I wish now I'd done it back in October. But I would beg, borrow and steal, because you've got one life. It was the best money I've ever spent, and I think my family believe that as well. So you might have to go without a few things, but it's so worth it. You've been amazing, and if anyone's watching this and they're thinking about doing it, please do it, because it is the best thing that you will do.
Thank you.
It really is. And just for the record, I've tried it all.
She's tried it all. Thank you. No, I hear that a lot. I do hear it a lot, and I think from my perspective, the reason why I'm different is because I've had it. I've had health anxiety. I could write books on it. I'm not a therapist that, you know, has never had it, just read books and, you know, just sort of made it up as I go along. I actually lived and breathed it, and so I know it inside out. And that's the difference, is working with somebody that knows it. And I know exactly how you feel because I have been you.
Do agree. I think that really, really helps, because it's talking to somebody that relates to everything. Not, you know, you talk to a therapist, which again I've done, and they're very much like, oh yes, we, you know, but they don't know the answers because they haven't been there.
Exactly.
And you know, before I went through this, I had no idea. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. You know, but you need to have somebody that can relate to how you are and what you're going through, and that really does help as well, definitely, because you understand.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. I'm so super, super pleased for you. Go and have an amazing rest of your life. And it's been a pleasure to work with you. Thank you.